Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out this frame from Realacc. It's called the Real1, and it looks very similar to the Korea Talon, and it's actually strongly inspired by that. It's not a clone because the top is quite different, and actually going to cover that in a little bit more detail later, explain actually what's wrong with it. There's something actually quite a bit off on that one. This is meant to be a fast flying frame. You can see here it's got vertical arms, so that you can cut through the air when you got fast forward flight. It's going to offer less wind resistance here, and that's what the designers of this frame are going after. It's not super light. I think in this configuration right here it's about 100 grams, so it's not super lightweight. It's meant for maximum aerodynamic efficiency. Now, putting this together was actually, at first I thought it was going to be pretty hard, but it turned out that it was actually not that difficult to put together. There's a lot of pieces, and I think that sort of was one of the things that was intimidating about putting this together. Was there was a lot of parts, and so what I would recommend is you take all the parts out and pile them together, put all the same size screws together, etc., so that you can basically pick out the parts you need as you build it. The instructions that it comes with are actually really good, and it actually goes you through here step by step what to do, and I just followed the instructions step by step and got the build done actually in about 15 minutes. Really, the first thing you want to do is you want to screw on these motor mounts onto the arm, and you can only screw it on one way. One side is threaded and the other side is not threaded, so that's where the screw would go in right there. It's kind of hard to see. So the screw goes in one way and then it's threaded on the other side. So once you get all the motor mounts on the arms, you got to put the arms and the center stack together. That's probably the thing that was the most complicated, because you have to get all these screws in, as well as this little, basically it's a bottom plate to mount your flight stack and ESCs, and there's notches in the aluminum that go into this board will go into, and getting all that together is a little bit tricky, but it's actually not that hard. What you should do is put two arms together like this, slide this plate in, and then you can put the other two arms together, and then you can just screw these in, and it'll hold together very nicely. It should be very firm. I think these were M10. Yeah, these are M3 10mm screws, and if you want to use longer ones for the inner ones here, the threads go all the way through, so you could probably use longer screws here. The ones over here on the outside are going to be flush at 10mm, so if you want even more strength, I would suggest putting in a longer screw here. You could probably go 12 or 14mm on the inside screw here. Now, some people have built this and not used the braces, and probably not a good idea to do that. Yeah, you save a little bit of weight, but you lose rigidity in the frame in this direction, basically in the sideways direction. So if you hit the ground like this, it'll probably snap the arm here. While the arm is very strong vertically, in the horizontal direction it's very weak right here. And these braces here will provide rigidity to keep the frame together when you crash, and otherwise most likely it will snap in the spot. Something I found that I didn't like is these slots here. Don't know why they put them in the arms. I don't think they serve any purpose. You could probably put some zip ties through there to hold the motor wires on, because you probably want to use the 4-in-1 ESCs. So the motor wires go all the way to the inside. You can zip tie them here, but you could just do the same by just zip tying around the whole arm itself. So I think it just weakens the arm, and you don't really save a lot of weight. So they should probably fix that in the next version. So once you've gotten the center stack, or the center part here, together with the arms, basically all you have to do is put the top pod on. The easiest way to do that is to basically take the side plates and this top plate and the standoffs, and then basically basically assemble the pod together, and then you can then attach the pod to the bottom here. These little I'm not really sure what these are called here. This little, where the screw goes into here, a little bobbin that goes inside here. And you can actually then, if you want, take these two off in the front. You can lift off the, or actually hinge off the top so that you can work on your stack if you need to. And then, or if you want to, you just remove all four and take the whole pot off. Either way works, and it's pretty easy to put back on top. Okay, we get some measurements here. First, start with the weight. I think it's about 100 grams. A little over 100 grams, 101.6 grams. The arms come in at 4 millimeters. And if you measure the height of the arm, it's about 19 millimeters. The arm brace thickness is about 2.5 millimeters. And the width is about 5 millimeters. The side plate is about 2 millimeters. Okay, so we'll measure the motor to motor distance. It should be 220 millimeters. And it comes in just a little over 220, like 222. So the front to back's about 155. Actually, that was the side to side. And the front to back here is about 155. So it's a true X frame. Okay, so now we can talk about the pod itself. This is quite different from the Korea Realacc. It's a little bit taller in the back here, and the front is all different for the camera. There should be plenty of space here for your 401 AC and flight controller and video transmitter here. That's not going to be a problem. The problem is the angle of the camera and this standoff here. I don't think that they thought about the camera too much when they designed this replica. When you put this is an owl, Runcam Owl Plus 2, but the case is the same as a Swift. If you put the camera in here, so there's two holes here that you can screw the camera into, but this doesn't fit the Swift 2 at all. So you can either have one hole or the other, not both. And then this standoff here limits your camera angle. So the most camera angle that I could get here is by putting the screw into the circle notch here. And then if you just do a single screw here on the bottom, you can get about that much camera tilt. And it's not particularly that secure, so you probably would have to zip tie the camera to the standoff somehow. But that's about it. So if you want more camera tilt than this, which is probably about 45 degrees, you're kind of out of luck. What they probably should have done is move this standoff back about a centimeter or 10 millimeters, and then that would give you more camera tilt if you want it. And then they obviously did not put enough thought into these two screw holes here to match up with a lot of these cameras that Runcam Swift uses this mounting hole pattern. So I have no idea what camera these holes fit. It doesn't fit a Swift 2. So if you're trying to figure out your camera mounting here, probably going to have to just use one hole and then probably zip tie it to the standoff here. Maybe use a little bit of foam so that there's no vibration going into the camera. And that'll probably, I think the most angle you're going to be able to get is about 45 degrees. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this frame review video. I'm not sure if I'm going to build it or not. Let me know if you want me to build this and if you have any suggestions for parts. I'll put a card here in the corner with a little poll with a yes or no, and then if you guys have any part suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I'm not really sure if I want to build this or not, because I'm not really much of a racer, and this is meant for all-out speed, and I don't really have places that are that big that I can go super fast, so it's not going to be all that practical for me to fly this. But the frame looks pretty cool. I like the way it looks. Not sure how useful it is going to be for me though. Anyway, there's going to be a poll up here in the corner. Click on that and let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.